Hello, it's some dust or something. I'm here today because I wanted to make a tier list on Path of Titans, going through a 1v1 PvP profile for all the playable dinosaurs. I'm only going to be touching on Pandura in this video, but I wanted to talk about them as if they were in a situation where they don't have a group and they're not facing a group, it's just them one-on-one, and assuming that they actually want to fight and they're not just going to run off. So, but that is the setup, let's get into it. It looks like the first thing we've got here is the Albertoceratops. Now, Alberta, if you've watched my Moments videos, I'm a big fan of Alberta. I think this thing is really good. Good stamina, fairly bulky, a fantastic charge, a few different ways you can run it. Honestly, these things are really scary. I think they're great. They just don't have the apex stat total, so Albertoceratops is going A. Next looks like Alioramus. Alioramus is a very fast carnivore, pretty good stamina, a few different ways you can run it. Super frail, doesn't do a ton of damage unfortunately. It can buff its own attack. This is specifically powerful when it is in a group with other dinos, but on its own it's not going to buff its attack so much that it's really super scary. So I'm feeling D for Alioramus. Next looks like Allosaurus, I think is what that is. Allosaurus, you're fast, you don't have good stamina, you've got pretty decent like combat stats, you're fairly heavy and everything, you've got a bleed. I don't think your turn radius is very good. Yeah, I think I'm gonna put Allosaurus in B for now. Next is Amarga. It's got the passive bleed, pretty good reach on its attacks, okay weight I guess, not very fast, just not threatening at all. I'm also going to put, well, I don't know, is it that bad though? You know what, I think just by virtue of its weight and the bleed, Amarga deserves to go in C. It does beat Alio. Anodonto is divisive. I stated in my What to Play As video that I thought Anodonto was broken, and there are two camps of people. There are the people that say it is completely broken, it needs to be toned down, and there are the people who think that it's super easy and it's new bait. I can see both arguments. I'll say this about Anodonto. It's got the bone break and everything, and it's got the hunker down, all of that's fine. What I don't get about it, and what I don't really like about it, is the stamina. Why is something this heavy, with that short of legs, why can it run you down forever? I don't get that one. If we're talking a 1v1, you know what, it can bone break chain on you. It really can. Yikes. This is a hard one, because I feel like they're gonna nerf it. But as it is now, I'm also going to put Anodonto in A. Is that Barsboldia? I think that's Barsboldia. I just did a showcase on Barsboldia. Highest health pool in the game, tied for highest weight, can boost its own defense. I made a mistake in that video. I said that Headbutt used a stam, but it doesn't. So you've got a good front-facing attack and then a good tail attack as well that have different cooldowns, both for free. And then the tail slam. Barsboldia's S. This is a serious threat to just about anything. That looks like Cerato. Oh, that's not Cerato, that's Campto. Sorry, these icons are super small. Campto. E. You are very fast. You do handle very well. For what that's worth, you can turn on a dime, and you get up to speed super fast too, so, you know, there's something to be said for that. Sarah, or Ceratosaurus, is one of the only dinosaurs that has a base armor rating. It has a 1.1 instead of a 1.0, and it needs that just to be able to hang with things like Metrian Conch, because it is pretty light for what it is. Pretty fast, pretty stamina reliant though, has a bone break, which is great. The stamina reliance is the problem. That bone break relies on it. If they're running headbutt, that's going to rely on it as well. I think these things are good, though. I think I'm going to put them below Aloe and B. I think Aloe would win that just on the basis of weight and accumulating bleed. Next is Conk, or Concavinator, or Concavinator. I've heard it pronounced all sorts of ways. I just call it the Conk. I think that's fun. This is a very speedy little carnivore. Can swim, can spec into that, can apply bleed, have all sorts of different ways you can run it. I've been playing it a lot lately. It's been fun. Is it good competitively? I think this belongs in C. You're just very light and you're very squishy, but you are agile, you can go in the water, you can stack bleed. There's good things about that. This looks like Dasp. Okay. Despledo. Faster than a Rex, but in all other ways kind of a low budget Rex. I don't think you get a charge or anything. Let me check my math here real quick. I don't want to lead you guys wrong here, so Despledo, Titans. Okay. You do have the crushing bite. Okay. I will say, they get the bone break on pretty quickly. I was surprised the other day. I got surprised by one of these guys. They do get the Tyrant Roar, like the Alio and everything. There's something to be said for that. I'm gonna put them below Cerato, honestly. Okay. Next is Danacurus, or the duck, or the goose, whatever you want to call it. By stats alone, S tier. Danacurus, it's got the 1000 health, pretty decent stamina wise. You know, it's got low stamina, I think it has 100, but it does recover it fairly fast, and it does have a low drain. Swims super fast, you know, it's got a free claw attack. This thing's pretty good. That looks like Deinonychus. Deinonychus goes in... It goes enough. I think Camptos can kill these. I think Camptos can kill these, and you're not gonna convince me otherwise. You're speedy, and you can give yourself a boost. Your only saving grace is being able to hide from things on top of cliffs or whatever. Like I said, this is a tier list about facing one-on-one in a fair fight. You're just too weak. You're too weak, and you're too light. Eo Triceratops, S. Well... Eo Triceratops, top of A, actually. Because it is the lightest of the apexes. It has the worst stam of the apexes. It can buff itself. You know, it's scary. It takes the reduced damage to the head and everything. But can it hang with the others? I don't know. I think that's super situational. Iguanodon. Iguanodon is actually really good in the water. Terrible stamina. Nothing else really super redeeming about it. I'm putting Iguanodon right about there, between Amarga and Conk. Kintro is a pretty quick little dude. Maybe not super quick, but he does have really good stamina. You can spec into him a bunch of ways. He has a hide he uses that buffs his defense with like no negative effects, which is awesome. Can apply pretty good bleed. What is sorry, yeah. I think my autoplay just switched from the playlist I was on. Sorry. Sorry about that. That's funny. Okay. I guess that's it for the music, but the show must go on. So, Kintro, like I was saying, stacks pretty heavy bleed on things. Can be threatening just by that alone, but it is very frail. I said in my video, I think it could keep up with some of the apexes, but... And I think that's true if you're really, really good, but after playing it a lot and playing it against it a lot, like, I think it's a B. Like a top of B, though, for sure. What in the world is that? Is that Lambeo? I think that's Lambeo. Lambeo's really good. Lambeo can heal itself. Lambeo has great stamina. It's fairly fast. It's got a really good damage on its tail attack as well. I think by all of that alone, Lambeo deserves to go an A under EO Shrike. Probably better than Alberta, although I could see an Alberta winning a fight. Latin goes an F with Dinon. Rip Raptor Bros. Megalania is another one I've been playing a fair bit of. This is a weird one. You have to rely on the bite in order to keep up with things, because you have a stamina draining bite, but your stamina drains so fast. Like, even if you're running it the best way you can for stamina conservation, you blow through it. So you really have to work in charges. It does refill pretty fast, which is nice, and you're a fairly good swimmer, which is nice. And it is fun to get a bunch of bites on something so that it can't run away from you, but is it super good? I think you gotta work in those bursts of sprinting. You can't run things down, and if you have to run away, you better be really good at hiding. For that reason, I think I'm going to put Megalania above the conch and under the iguanodon. What's this one? I don't even... Is that Metri? I think that's Metria. Metriacanthosaurus. It's like Megalania, except it does less damage with its bite attack. It does still drain stamina with its bite. It's pretty fast. It can keep up with Meg, probably even faster than it. I don't have the raw numbers in front of me or anything, but it does have way better stamina, which is nice. I really like Metri. I think Metri deserves to go in B. Well, hold on a sec. No, I'm putting Metri right above Meg, right here in C. Although Megs and Metris are roughly around the same level, if you ask me. Packy, you're fast. You've got a charge with knockback. You have great stamina. You can jump really high. There's a lot to love about Packy, but it's got the raptor syndrome. It's just really frail. Can't take a hit, like, at all. I think Packy's gonna go in D. I've hunted them with, like, just about everything up here. Pygnomiosaur. I've killed a Pycno with a Packy before, and that's really sad. Oh, you might hear my cat, by the way. Anyway. I've killed it with a Packy. Another one that's just super frail. You're fast. You hit pretty hard. You have a knockback that's better than the Packy, but you are just so freaking frail. I think I would put Pycno... Probably bottom of B, if I had to guess. Sarko is really good in the water. It's not so good out of the water, but it still can hold its own. You've got to bleed, you've got to lunge, you're fairly bulky, you swim fast, you know. There's a lot to love about the Sarko. I think Sarko's really good until you're out of the water, and then it drastically goes down. I would say in the water you're an easy S. Out of the water you're like a B. So I'm just gonna round up here, and I'm gonna put it behind EO and A. You know, I would put it behind Lambeo too, except its bleed actually nullifies the Lambeo heal, so there's that. Spino. Spino goes in S. Spino has the apex stat total. A lot of ways you can run it. It's semi-aquatic. It's right up there neck and neck with Dinosaurus in my opinion. Maybe even a little better because it does have the extra weight. Stego. I'm gonna put Stego. But do I put it behind Sark? Do I put it in front of Sark? What do I do? It's in the A somewhere. I'm gonna put it behind Sark, even though Stego is hard for a Sark to come at. Stego's super good. Like Kent, does tons of bleed damage. Gets a cool pivot thing going. This is Struthy. Struthy, if we're talking PvP, I'll put it in E with Campto, just because I think they're around the same as far as combat ability goes. I mean, you do get a really cool jump kick that applies bleed, but I mean, just it's Struthy, you know. I'll put it above Campto, actually, because you are faster. Styraco, I really like Styraco. For the most part, it plays like an Alberta, except it's faster, it takes more damage, it's a lot more frail. It does apply bleed, I think I'm gonna put Sterako between... No, actually, hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna put it after Kintro there. Suko? Suko's better than Aloe in my opinion. Um, I'm not really hating on Aloe or anything. I do think Suko's a little better. I don't think it's as good as Anodonto right now. And I think the last one on here, as far as the playables on Pangera, we have Tyranno, which is shooting way up to top of S. Arguably, you could put it behind Barsboldia because Bars has more defense, more HP, um, but you could also make the argument Tyrannosaurus has Bone Break. Tyrannosaurus can buff its own attack with Tyrant's Roar, and it has a charge. So it's just got more things to mess around with. You're tied for the highest weight in the game. You've got the same HP as everything except for the bars. It's up there somewhere. But yeah, I think that about does it for my tier list. I'm pretty confident with that. I think that's pretty good. If you have any opinions on this, please feel free to leave them below. Sorry what happened with the music, and if you heard my cat at some point. My wife came in here and my cat wanted to say hello, so Shiloh stands in the comments, please. We only love Shiloh here. Shiloh's a good cat. All right, well, thank you all so much for watching, and have a great day.